my name is Melissa Case, and I'm the Administrative Director at the Youth Performing Arts School. I, along with our admissions coordinator, Michelle Bynum, will be working with you through the admissions process. This video is to help walk you through the steps of the early review application process. Early review is an opportunity available for students at Western Middle School for the Performing Arts who are in 8th grade, and students at No Middle School who are identified as gifted in the visual and performing arts or who sit in those classes and are applying to be incoming 9th graders. If you are unsure if you're eligible for early review, please check with your school guidance counselor. Now, the dates for early review are quickly approaching, so I'm going to take you to the timeline on our website, then walk you through the application process itself. Now, here we are on the YPASS homepage, which can be found at www.ypass, that's YPAS.org. And you'll see several tabs along the top. If you head towards this admission tab, that's where we're going to spend our time today. There are 3 sub-tabs under the admissions tab, which include info, shadowing, and forms and FAQ. Now, we're going to start with the admissions info. Now on this page, if I scroll down just a hair, you're going to see our application timeline for the 2021-2022 school year. The first thing that you see is our open house, which is a virtual event, but then the very next thing is the opening of the application timeline for Jefferson County and YPASS, which is on November 2nd. Then the very next thing you see is that the early review application deadline is November 6th. Now that is a quick turnaround time for early review students, but there are some things you can be working on right now. On that November 6th deadline, everything is due. That includes your Jefferson County online application and your YPASS application, which we're going to go through in just a minute, and your recommendations and all of that. We'll have our auditions in mid-November to early December, and those will be done virtually as well. Each department's format is going to be a little bit different. So when you apply, you'll receive an email with the specific requirements for each department on how to audition. And then we'll be notifying everyone on December 9th of acceptance or non-acceptance. If you're accepted, that's great. You're done, and we'll get back in touch with you in late February, early March, sometime around then regarding scheduling. But if you're not accepted, you then have 1 week until the December 16th deadline JCPS has to go in and change your first choice. Now, this could be for another manual magnet. You could make them a new first choice. You could make a different YPASS department your first choice if you didn't audition for them in the early review, but you cannot audition for the same areas twice, just only once. Or of course, you can select any other JCPS school at that time as your first choice. Okay, so as we go on down here a little bit more, you'll see we have each of our 9 departments identified. If you're interested in any of these, be sure to click on them and read about them. We're just going to go to one of these as a sample. We'll just hit ban since it's first. And each one of these pages is laid out very much the same. You'll see the requirements for the audition on the left. You'll see how to apply on the right, and then our big red Apply Now button on this page. Now, this Apply Now button will not be hot until November 2nd, and at that time, you can go through the actual application and get it done in no time. Now, let's talk about the right side, because here are our steps we're going to follow. The first thing is to apply through the JCPS Options and Magnets application. And this is a hot link, so if you just come to our page and click on that, it's going to take you directly to the JCPS website. You're all current students since you're at No and Western, so you would click here, enter your information, and then go in and be able to select YPASS as your first choice. Remember that we fill up and we aren't able to look at second choice students, so if you're applying during the general time, please know that you must choose us as a first choice in order to be considered. Now, if you are auditioning for more than one area, just pick one for the JCPS application, and it really doesn't matter which one. On the YPASS application, you'll be able to specify your first, second, third choice, ever how many areas you're auditioning for. If you're auditioning for one, then that's fine too. So once you've completed that JCPS online application, you can do the YPASS application. And when you get ready to apply now, there are a few things that you need to have ready. The first is a headshot. This can be a school picture. It could be a picture you take on your phone, whatever you have access to that's clear of your face. This helps our people remember all of the students that we have as they look through the videos. Of course, this year it'll be videos, but it's okay if it's not a professional headshot. That's not a requirement. We just need a good picture of you. The next thing is a performance resume. Now, if you're not sure what to do, a good idea is just to Google a resume for your area. So if you're interested in dance, Google dance resumes, and it's going to show you a variety of things. It'll probably show like types of training you've had, and you could list your school training. If you take privately, you could take that. Performances, if you've had different roles in shows or performances, you could list those. If you've been in all district or all county ensembles, you could put those there. If you play at your church, you could put that on your resume. Sort of find one that matches what you've been doing in your artistic career. The next thing is the one-page essay entitled Why I Want to Attend YPAS. It can be typed or handwritten. Either is fine. The main thing is to make sure that what comes through in that essay is your passion about the arts and why you want to be a student at the Youth Performing Arts School. So those are the three things. Those are the only three things as Western and no students that you have to have prepared to upload. So at that point, you would hit the Apply Now button. And what that's going to do, it's going to take you to an application that looks like this. So I'll show you how quick it is. I'm just going to put mine in here. My address is already there. If you have secondary contact information, please feel free to enter that. I'm going to put my phone number. It's a lot of nines. All right, next, this page you're going to see, here's where you would pick your school. So it's Western. And then I'm going to hit next. And right here's where it's going to ask if I'm doing early review or not. So since you're listening to this early review video, I'm going to click yes. And then finally, this is where you can specify what area you want to audition for, which one of our 9 departments. So I'm going to start out my first one. I'm going to do 2 areas just so you can see, is band. For band, I need to select my instrument. Trombone is the best because that's what I play. And then I'm going to say yes, I want to apply for another area. I also want to do musical theater because I'm a triple threat. And that's all. So next, and this here is where you will then upload the 3 things that we've asked you to have ready. So you'll already have it right here, and you just click Add File, and then you can search your device. You can get it straight from your Google Drive if that's where it is, or if you have, you can even drag it over and just drop it in there if it's on your desktop. So if you need any technical assistance or unsure how to do this, please reach out to one of your teachers, administrators, or us, and we'll be sure to help you. We don't want anyone to be, have a barrier to applying because of technology. So we'll be sure to help you out. Right here, you would upload your performance resume and then your essay. And then since we know that you are Western and no students, you are JCPS, and you would click yes. And that takes you to the next page. These are all required fields. So I cannot go on to the next page until I have uploaded the appropriate items. Once I get to the next page, I simply submit. And then at that point, you're going to get an email that confirms that we've received your application. And in that email, it's also going to have some other information about how you can get your recommendations. So once you do that, that's as easy as the online application is. That's it. All right, so I'm going to go back here, and we talked about you've uploaded those things now. The next thing, and this information again will be in the email you receive, but you can get started on this now if you really want to, since your deadlines are fast approaching. So used to, we would have you deliver the stuff in a packet with the teacher's written recommendation in a sealed envelope with their signature across it. But since we can't do that this time, we have this link that you can copy and paste into an email and send to your teacher. And then they're simply going to open the link and complete this recommendation form for you and fill out all the information. And then there's a verification screen where they verify it is them submitting the information. So it should be a lot easier for your teachers. Another way you can make it even easier is do not wait to the last minute to submit these. We know, especially at Western and know, that some teachers are asked to do tons of recommendations. So the earlier you can get them this link, the better. And then it is your responsibility to sort of follow up with them to see that it's been submitted. Because we won't send you the audition information until we've received everything. So that includes the items that you upload and the 2 teacher recommendations. Now, don't harass them over it, but if it's getting close to the deadline and you haven't received any information and your other stuff was turned in a long time ago, you might just do a gentle reminder and ask them if they've completed it. All right, and then so that as far as the materials, that's all that has to be submitted. Then you'll prepare for your audition, and again, all of the information is on these pages, and you will receive some specifics in an email that comes to you, since the departments might be doing theirs a little bit differently. I know some want to do some somewhat live virtual sessions, while others will probably just have you do an upload of your materials, and all of that will come to you very clear in an email. Now we're going to go to the forms and FAQ page. There's a couple of things I'd like to show you here. The first is the adjudication forms. So this is the rubric that the teachers use whenever they're evaluating students. And I think it's good for you to know what types of characteristics they're looking for when you're being judged. They're not just listening and going, I like you, I don't like that one, this one's good. They have very specific qualities that they're looking for in the people that audition. So it's not always the most experienced person. It's someone whose emotions and these characteristics come through, and there's a passion they see. So just take a look at this before you come to your audition, so you sort of know what they're listening for. And then additionally, there are several frequently asked questions about JCPS and applications and applying to other magnets on this page. Now, sometimes we get a question about which area should my child apply for? They like this and they like this, and they also are good at math. Well, our advice is to really just think hard about how you want to immerse yourself the next 4 years. Where's your real passion at? Now, just because I become a YPass major does not mean that might be my career. About 70% of our students go on to careers in the arts, and others go on to careers in education, medicine, engineering, you name it, because Manual prepares them for any type of coursework that they may want to do once they graduate high school. So as far as being in high school, make sure that that's something that they really love and are passionate about and want to sort of just throw themselves into fully over the course of their high school career. Hopefully you find this video beneficial as you go through the application process. I did want to note that if you're auditioning for more than one area, you can feel free to use the same essay and performance resume, or you can choose to personalize those based on the area you're auditioning for. If that's what you choose to do, you are able to upload multiple documents under the resume and essay as you go through the one-time online application for YPass. Also, if you're auditioning for more than one area, you may choose to have different people complete your recommendations based upon the area you are applying for. If that's the case, just remind your recommender to indicate the appropriate area in the space provided when they complete the recommendation. Thank you for watching our application video. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at melissa.case@jefferson.kyschools.us, or I can be reached by phone at 502-313-5960.